How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. So basically what we're going to be taking a look at today is the crypto market and essentially a little bit of an update from last video. So I don't remember when the last video essentially was, but we are going to be just retouching up on my exact thoughts on where the market's headed. It really has not changed ever since I talked about it at around $110,000, and now we're at 67K. It hasn't really changed since that point. I think that we are going to go a decent bit lower, at the very least touch this major swing low here at 49,000, roughly around $50,000 per Bitcoin. Right now we are essentially bouncing off our previous cycle's all-time high of that of around 66K, 67K. As you can see, we're rejecting off of that pretty well. We also have some support as well from here as well that used to be resistance that we're also bouncing off as well. So I think that this major swing low is definitely an area of interest for me to be watching, that at around 50K. And because it's such a huge psychological number, I think 50K could be one of those bigger buy zones that we see from institutions and a lot of retail investors as well, because a lot of people still believe in the crypto market. I don't think people have necessarily gone ahead and just completely lost all hope within the market just because we're having a pullback that just happens naturally. You have, look at basic macroeconomics. You have the trough, you have actual standings behind these bull runs, bear markets, etc. They're expected, and so I just see it as more opportunity, potentially be heavily rewarded within this market. And I'm going to share with that essentially today. So the goal of today is essentially to just touch up on where I think Bitcoin's going to be headed, and obviously a lot of altcoins are going to be headed down there as well. But I want to specifically go over my plan to start accumulating a good bit of coins, a good bit of cryptocurrency, in the event that we do see a run coming within the next couple of years, whenever it happens to be, whenever crypto picks steam back up again. And some people might not think that that's ever going to happen again, that crypto's done. I don't believe that. I think that this is just a part of the game, and we are just having a moment of market correction in which I think we are going to have a pretty good run, as we've just had within that of 2024 and 2025. But as of now, I think that we are definitely potentially headed a lot lower, but I just see that as buying opportunities. And even at these current levels, I think if you believe in crypto, I believe in crypto long term. So I personally, only for Bitcoin, I would want to buy at these levels, and I am going to be buying at these levels. But there's levels that I want to specifically see. And as far as altcoins go, I'm going to be extremely careful with the ones that I pick to engage in and actually accumulate, in comparison to ones that I'm never going to touch ever again, that I might have been involved with last year as well as into 2024. So I'm just going to go over everything that I'm doing within the market. I'm just not only going to use it as documentation, but just sharing my thoughts on the market periodically. I'm going to be trying to do daily market updates. I'm going to essentially share what coins I'm going to be accumulating. We had some really good plays in 2024 and in 2025 with Aerodrome specifically, Ski Mask Dog, Aerobud, where we had talked about those coins when they're extremely small market caps and they had done very well. There's other coins as well that I've talked about that have done well. So the hope is that was during a bull market. The hope is that if we can do that in a bear market, then we can potentially spot some opportunities early on. Again, not financial advice. If any of those come up, I'm just going to be sharing what I find and what I engage with. But again, it's not financial advice. It's just merely documentation, right? So that is essentially how I'm going to play it out, and that's going to be starting soon, because I do plan on starting to DCA into Bitcoin here. As we head lower, I'm not going to be touching any other altcoin. There's just a couple that I might end up throwing a little bit of money into just at these levels. But more than likely, I think that we're going to continue a good bit lower. We might reject off of where we're currently sitting here at our previous cycle's high. We might be rejecting off of that, potentially, coming up, but I think we're going to face massive selling pressure yet again, continue lower, and at least sweep that major swing low that we had in August of 2024 at around that of 50K. I think that is definitely a level to be watched. This is a demand zone per my definition, where we have a sharp move up in price action followed by some people call it accumulation. So potentially we have that here, and then followed by another sharp move up as well. This would be classified as demand zone, which coincides almost with that wick that we had at that 50K major swing low. I think price will definitely enter this box of around 40 to 50K. There's definitely a good chance of that happening. But at that, honestly, I'm not going to be able to predict everything. We could very much just see Bitcoin shoot up to 100K tomorrow. Like, it is extremely unpredictable market. So I don't deal with certainties. I just deal with expected outcomes and then plan for what I believe is the most likely expected outcome. And so the most likely expected outcome from my point of view is that we continue a good bit lower, and then potentially, who knows how long it takes, we pick back up with the market, and then we potentially enter a bull run into 2028 or 2027 or 2029, whatever the case might be. We get more momentum going at least a year or two from now, in my opinion. But I think that if people stay active, if I stay active specifically within the markets at this time, I think that's going to be the most rewarding, because you're able to get access to a lot of opportunities extremely early on and get access to a lot of very good opportunities in terms of being able to get coins for very low prices and buy in before, because most people buy in during the bull markets. I bought in heavily in around 2024 and was able to get very nice ROI from that. However, if I would have done so in 2023, right, and accumulated when we were still sort of trading below and in what people would call a bear market, then at that time it would have been a lot more rewarding than me getting into 2024, right? But obviously it's just a matter of learning from things and being just involved with the market all the time. You're able to get access to a lot of opportunities. So essentially that's the plan going forward. Really not much to update on besides what I'm going to be doing. And speaking of that, so this is a mock port. So basically this is not necessarily going to mirror the stuff that I'm going to be accumulating soon. It essentially will, but it's not going to match it to dollar amount. I'm essentially going to be sharing with what I'm going to be buying and literally updating that every day. So if I purchase something, let's say tomorrow, for documentation purposes, I will put that amount in this mock port, if that makes sense. So starting from now to whenever, I'm essentially going to put anything that I buy in this mock port, and then we can literally see every single day how it performs. That is what is going to end up happening. We're going to do that. And so it's simply for documentation purposes, right? So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. It will definitely make it a lot more viable to have daily market updates. And we'll touch on other things as well. We're going to be, there's not a lot of new altcoins that are coming out that are even interesting. It's going to be extremely hard to find projects that are being built that are actually good, because a lot of people just want to be building those projects during bull markets, during mass euphoria, and we have, of course, none of that right now, so we're gonna have to wait. But that's just a little update and sharing what I'm going to be doing here soon. But I am going to be buying here soon, and I think that as far as Bitcoin goes, these are really good prices for Bitcoin. I think that we're definitely going to go back up above $100,000 in the near future, as long as Bitcoin stays relevant, which obviously there's a chance it does not stay relevant, and some other future emerging technology completely disregards it as being something of actual value. But I think until that happens, Bitcoin definitely still has a very strong trajectory, specifically due to also the institutional and even government adoption within the currency. So I'm very excited to see what is going to occur within these next couple of years, and I think that there's going to be massive opportunities for retail investors to make a good bit of money, and I'm extremely excited for myself, of course, with that. But that's going to be it for today. Just a little update on what is going on, what the plans are going to be. We have this mock port. I'm going to be sharing updates on this. We're going to start small, and again, you guys are going to see grow this crypto portfolio. Literally every day I'm going to put out a video on what changes are being done to the portfolio. We could literally even call it bear market portfolio day one, and literally add something to it, and it will literally be money that I'm putting in, not in here. This is just going to show what I'm doing. I'm not going to show my actual wallet. Potentially later, we'll see. But yeah, it's going to mirror it essentially. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to stay tuned for this bear market update in this whole series, just go subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.